Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. On Monday Night Raw tonight, Pearce opened the proceedings to make a WrestleMania match official, but with one massive and crucial change to the Women's World Title match. Pearce opened the show and said that he assumed responsibility for how things played out last week, because he wrongly assumed that 3 of the women could take responsibility. Pearce then added Rhea Ripley to the Women's World Title match, officially making it a triple threat bout. All he did was ask for their signature. A visibly furious Bianca Belair said she would have been even angrier a few weeks ago, because she had to jump through so many hurdles to secure her spot at WrestleMania 41, while Ripley could simply get what she wanted. Belair then insisted that she wanted Ripley in the match after all she had put her through. She shoved the contract folder into Ripley, and as I tried to get in between, she was shoved away like a third fiddle. In response, the champion leaped from behind and dropkicked Rhea Ripley into Bianca Belair. She took the contract from Pearce, signed it, and then grabbed her title before walking away, standing tall. WrestleMania, the grandest stage of them all, has always been a place where history is written, legends are made, and the unexpected often unfolds. WrestleMania 41, taking place in the heart of Hollywood, promised to be another chapter in this storied tradition. However, little did anyone know, it would be the site of one of the most shocking and game-changing moments in the history of WWE. At the heart of WrestleMania 41 was the Women's World Championship match, a contest that had fans buzzing for months. The match was originally set to be a one-on-one battle between the reigning champion, Charlotte Flair, and her challenger, Rhea Ripley. The two women had been on a collision course ever since Ripley won the Royal Rumble, earning her spot as the top contender for the title. The anticipation for this clash of titans was palpable. Both Flair and Ripley had proven themselves to be 2 of the most dominant and skilled women in WWE history, and their rivalry had escalated to a boiling point. However, as the days drew closer to WrestleMania 41, one name loomed large over the match. Pearce, WWE's Senior Vice President of Talent Relations, and an individual who had made his mark as a key authority figure within the company. Pearce, who had always been a behind-the-scenes presence, had been known for his no-nonsense approach to managing talent and making difficult decisions. But this time, he was about to make a decision that would not only shake up the Women's World Championship match, but would send shockwaves throughout the entire WWE universe. The announcement came on the night of the final Raw before WrestleMania 41, when Pearce made a surprise appearance in the ring. The crowd, already electric with anticipation for the upcoming pay-per-view, fell silent as Pearce stood in front of them. He looked calm and collected, but his eyes betrayed a sense of purpose. Pearce was known for his composed demeanor, but the weight of what he was about to say was clear. "Ladies and gentlemen," Pearce began, "this year's WrestleMania will be a spectacle like no other. But it's also going to be a place where we push boundaries, break barriers, and take things to the next level. That's why, after much consideration, I've decided to make a change. A big change. The Women's World Championship match at WrestleMania 41 is no longer going to be a one-on-one match. It's going to be a triple threat match." The arena erupted in shock and confusion. Fans exchanged bewildered glances as they tried to process what they had just heard. Pearce, however, wasn't done. He continued, his voice firm and authoritative. "Now, you may be wondering who's going to join Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley in this match. Well, let me introduce to you the third competitor. Someone who has proven themselves time and time again in the ring, someone who has earned their place at the top, and someone who is ready to make their mark at WrestleMania. I'm talking about none other than Bayley." The crowd's reaction was a mixture of shock and excitement. Bayley, the former SmackDown Women's Champion and a multi-time tag team champion, had been conspicuously absent from the title picture in recent months. Many had speculated that she had been quietly biding her time, waiting for the right moment to strike. It seemed that moment had arrived. The announcement of Bayley's inclusion in the match instantly changed the dynamics of the Women's World Championship contest, and fans couldn't wait to see how this new development would unfold. Adam Pearce continued, Charlotte Flair, Rhea Ripley, and Bayley. Three of the most talented women in WWE today, and they'll all be fighting for the Women's World Championship at the biggest stage in sports entertainment. This is no longer just a rivalry. It's a battle for the future of the women's division. And I can promise you this, the stakes have never been higher. With that, Pearce left the ring, his decision already sending ripples of excitement and intrigue through the WWE universe. The news of the triple threat match at WrestleMania 41 quickly spread across social media, and fans were buzzing with opinions, predictions, and excitement. What had been a highly anticipated contest between Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley was now a three-way war for the most prestigious title in women's wrestling. The impact of the decision. The inclusion of Bayley into the Women's World Championship match at WrestleMania 41 was more than just a surprise. It was a turning point for the entire women's division. The decision forced fans, analysts, and even the participants themselves to reevaluate their expectations for the match. Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley had been locked in a heated rivalry for months, each woman pushing the other to their limits. Flair, the daughter of Ric Flair and a 14-time women's champion, was the established star, a symbol of excellence in WWE. Ripley, on the other hand, was the young, hungry challenger who had proven herself as a powerhouse in the ring. Their chemistry and personal history had added layers of intensity to their feud. It had seemed like a foregone conclusion that the two would face off at WrestleMania 41, but now, with Bayley added to the equation, the entire dynamic shifted. Bayley's inclusion raised many questions. Where had she been in recent months? Why hadn't she been part of the title picture? Could she truly compete with Flair and Ripley, two of the top women in WWE? Bayley, known for her high-energy style and her hugger persona, had undergone a significant transformation in recent years. Her character evolution, from the lovable underdog to a more cynical and calculating figure, had made her one of the most complex characters in the women's division. Many wondered if this change in attitude would give her the edge in the triple threat match, or if she would be overwhelmed by the intensity of Flair and Ripley. For Flair and Ripley, the added threat of Bayley meant they could no longer focus solely on each other. The inclusion of Bayley turned the match into a true free-for-all, with alliances and betrayals becoming a real possibility. Would Ripley and Flair join forces to take down Bayley, or would they both try to outdo each other for the coveted championship? Bayley, always a wild card, was a master at exploiting such situations. She had been known to use underhanded tactics in her matches, and her inclusion in this high-stakes contest only heightened the unpredictability. The road to WrestleMania 41. In the weeks leading up to WrestleMania 41, tensions between the three competitors escalated, and the match became one of the most talked-about contests on the entire card. Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley both made their intentions clear. They were willing to do whatever it took to win the Women's World Championship. Ripley, with her imposing physique and relentless drive, was determined to dethrone Flair and solidify her legacy as the new face of women's wrestling. Flair, ever the confident and dominant champion, made it clear that no one was taking her title from her. And then there was Bayley, who, as always, operated with a sense of mystery, playing mind games with both Flair and Ripley. The weeks of build-up saw each woman take shots at the other, using every opportunity to undermine their opponents. Bayley took every chance to mock Flair's legacy, calling her nothing more than a shadow of her father, and accusing Ripley of trying too hard to play the role of the next big thing. Flair, in turn, dismissed Bayley as a flash in the pan, and Ripley taunted her former mentor, claiming that Flair's reign was coming to an end, no matter what. On the final Raw before WrestleMania, all three women were in the ring for a heated face-off. Pearce, standing at the top of the ramp, watched as Flair, Ripley, and Bayley exchanged verbal jabs. The tension in the air was palpable, and it was clear that none of them were willing to back down. Adam Pearce stepped forward, a knowing smirk on his face. You three have been at each other's throats for weeks, but at WrestleMania there's going to be no room for excuses, no room for distractions. It's going to be every woman for herself. And may the best competitor win. As the three women stare each other down, the reality of what was about to transpire at WrestleMania 41 set in. The match would not only determine who would leave with the Women's World Championship, but it would also set the stage for the next era of the women's division. WrestleMania 41, the triple threat match. WrestleMania 41 arrived, and the anticipation for the Women's World Championship triple threat match reached a fever pitch. The stage was set, and the stakes had never been higher. The match would be contested in a massive steel structure, with the ring surrounded by steel cages on all sides, ensuring that there would be nowhere to run, no place to hide. The addition of the steel structure heightened the intensity of the match, as fans knew that no one would leave unscathed. As the bell rang, all three women charged at each other with a ferocity that could be felt throughout the arena. Bayley, known for her cunning and agility, took the early advantage, using her quickness to evade the blows of both Flair and Ripley. Flair, the seasoned veteran, quickly found her rhythm, using her technical wrestling prowess to control the match. Ripley, however, was a force of nature, overpowering both women with her strength and power moves. The match was a brutal back-and-forth affair, with each woman taking her turn in the spotlight. There were high-impact moves, devastating slams, and near falls that had the crowd on the edge of their seats. But in the end, it was Bayley who would emerge victorious. Using her underhanded tactics and taking advantage of a momentary distraction between Flair and Ripley, Bayley delivered a crushing belly-to-belly suplex on Ripley and pinned her for the 3 count, winning the Women's World Championship. The arena exploded in cheers and disbelief as Bayley stood tall, clutching the title in her hands. It was a moment that no one had seen coming, and it was a testament to Adam Pearce's bold decision to make such a game-changing move weeks earlier. Bayley had proved that, despite the odds, she was the one who would reign supreme as the champion. Aftermath. A new era for the women's division. Adam Pearce's decision to make the Women's World Championship match at WrestleMania 41 a triple threat match forever changed the course of WWE's women's division. It allowed for fresh rivalries, unexpected twists, and ultimately the crowning of a new champion. Bayley's victory was a moment for the history books, and it signaled the start of a new era in women's wrestling. For Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley, the road to redemption would be long, but they had both proven that they were among the best in the world. The match at WrestleMania 41 had solidified their legacies, even in defeat. As for Adam Pearce, his decision to shake things up and make the Women's World Championship match a triple threat had paid off in spades. It was a bold move, but one that would be remembered for years to come. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe our WWE official YouTube channel for more update news.